हेलो फ्रेंड्स एंड वेलकम टू हिटबुल्सआई। माय नेम इज़ मनीष और इस वीक की वीडियो में हम कवर करेंगे अक्टूबर के फर्स्ट वीक के सारे करंट अफेयर्स। सो वी आर गोइंग टू कवर रियली इंपॉर्टेंट इवेंट्स इंक्लूडिंग द नोबेल प्राइजेस फॉर 2022. In case you are watching this video for the first time, do press the bell icon and give us a thumbs up so that you receive all the notifications of these videos every week when we post them. आइए देखते हैं फर्स्ट वीक ऑफ अक्टूबर के इम्पॉर्टेंट करंट affairs. First of all, the International Day of Non-Violence was celebrated. So this day was designated by United Nations. So International Day of Non-Violence, which is the 2nd of October, and we celebrate it for a different reason. We call it the dry day, anyway. So Gandhi Jayanti is celebrated, and on the same day Lal Bahadur Shastri, who was the second Prime Minister of India, his birth anniversary is also celebrated. Then 98th National Wildlife Week also we celebrated from the 2nd of October till the 8th of October. Then Operation Garuda, ड्रग ट्रैफिकिंग को रोकने के लिए ऑपरेशन गरुड़ जो है वो स्टार्ट किया गया है बाय द CBI and certain other agencies. Nobel Prizes 2022, various awards have already been announced and some are yet to be announced, which we will see the next week. Swachh Sarvekshan Awards under the Swachh Bharat mission, various cities and states of India have been awarded the Swachh Sarvekshan Awards. We'll take a look at the names of all those states. Then Indian javelin thrower suspended for doping. When I read this news for the first time, I was gobsmacked. I thought Indian javelin thrower, the first name that comes to your mind is Neeraj Chopra. Thankfully, he is not that. He has not been suspended for doping. This is some other javelin thrower, but of an international repute, which is, a problematic situation because there are not many sports in which Indians excel, and if they do excel, then such kind of allegations are there. Next, light combat helicopter LCH Prachanda has been introduced in Indian Air Force. So Indian Air Force has a new light combat helicopter. The most important thing about the helicopter is that it has been built in India. It's a made in India helicopter and it has been inducted in the Indian Air Force. Those who watch cricket, Rohit Sharma, they would know Rohit Sharma is the first Indian cricketer to have played 400 T20 international matches. And since this is a new format of the game, every time somebody crosses a particular threshold, it becomes a world record. And he is the first Indian cricketer to have crossed this particular threshold. Then Women's Basketball World Cup has been held and its winner was recently announced. We will see which country has won this. Then this is a very important news which we will cover in a bit more detail. United Nations High Commission for Refugees awards the Nansen Refugee Award, which is the highest award in the world for working in the field of refugees or for working to help refugees or internally displaced persons. We will see what this award is, who was Nansen, and what is the importance of this award and who are the winners. Then Pankaj Tripathi. Now I'm sure you have heard the name of Pankaj Tripathi. So he's the quintessential Indian actor who you have seen in various movies, web series, and television advertisements also. He has been declared as the national icon by Election Commission of India, and he will now be spreading awareness for among the voters to cast their votes in elections. And finally, the Sastra Ramanujan Prize for 2022 has been announced, which is given in the field of mathematics. Let's take a look at all these news, starting with the first one, which is the International Day of Non-Violence. So there is no disputing the fact that Mahatma Gandhi was a living epitome or a living example of non-violence. It was through this particular principle, which some might dispute, he led India to freedom. So he is known as, he is the most visible manifestation of non-violence. That is the correct way of saying it. So considering that achievement, there was a Nobel Peace Prize laureate, Shirin Ebadi, There is a Nobel Peace Prize winner, Shirin Ebadi. He proposed in 2004 that the birth anniversary of Mahatma Gandhi should be declared as the International Day of Non-Violence. And this resolution was passed in 2007. On 15th of June 2007, the United Nations General Assembly passed this resolution to designate October the 2nd as International Day of Non-Violence. So we have been celebrating this day 15th year in a row. It was 2007 when this day was declared. Perhaps 16th time we are celebrating it, because Mahatma Gandhi was born on the 2nd of October 1869. So it's a matter of honor for us that this day we celebrate as the International Day of Non-Violence, and Mahatma Gandhi belonged to India. There is another interesting fact about Mahatma Gandhi, which is a sort of a world record. He is the only personality who has statues in 150 plus countries of the world. His statues are there in 150 plus countries of the world, and that is a true testimony to his brilliance. On the same day, we also celebrated the birth anniversary of Lal Bahadur Shastri. He was the second Prime Minister of India after Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru. So he remained the Prime Minister from 1964 till 1966. ये 2 साल जब ये प्रधानमंत्री रहे तो 2 बड़े क्राइसिस देखे इंडिया ने. सिर्फ उन 2 सालों के स्पैन में इंडिया ने 2 बड़े क्राइसिस देखे. One was the 1965 war with Pakistan, and second was the food crisis, due to multiple reasons. One reason was that USA had refused to give us the food supplies under the PL 480 program. PL 480 program, जिसके अंदर इंडिया यूएसए से wheat import करता था. Yes, you heard it right. There was a time when India used to import food grains from USA because we were not self-sufficient. Now the situation is different, but at that time it was different. And this particular situation prompted the Green Revolution in India in the late 1960s. And the second problem was 1965 war with Pakistan. Although we won this war, but the damage it had on our natural resources, the damage it had on our defense resources was unparalleled. You know, it drained our resources. India was a new country, a relatively new country at that time. इतनी powerful नहीं था इंडिया उस टाइम पे जितना आज है. तो एक war और एक food crisis ने इंडिया को काफ़ी ज़्यादा problem दी उस टाइम पे. But he was the prime minister, so he gave this slogan, Jai Jawan, Jai Kisan, a very famous slogan. Jai Jawan to strengthen the military, Jai Kisan to empower the farmers. So Jai Jawan, Jai Kisan का logic ये है that at that time India was militarily facing challenges and India was agriculturally also facing challenges. और इनकी डेथ को लेकर भी बहुत कंट्रोवर्सी है. जब 1965 इंडो पाक वॉर ख़त्म हुई तो इंडिया और पाकिस्तान पीस एग्रीमेंट साइन करने के लिए ताशकंद में मिले थे. ताशकंद इज़ अ पार्ट ऑफ उज़्बेकिस्तान, जो कि उस वक्त यूएसएसआर का हिस्सा हुआ करता था, यूनियन ऑफ सोवियत सोशलिस्ट रिपब्लिक्स या सोवियत यूनियन का हिस्सा हुआ करता था. सो सोवियत यूनियन सॉर्ट ऑफ माइग्रेटेड सॉर्ट ऑफ व्हाट यू कैन से mediated, not migrated. USSR mediated between India and Pakistan so that both these countries come to a peace agreement. तो वो peace agreement sign हुआ था ताशकंद में. But in Tashkent he died under mysterious circumstances. 11th of January 1966 को इनकी death हो गई mysterious circumstances में. कुछ लोगों का कहना है, जो official version है वो तो ये है that he died of a cardiac arrest. लेकिन कॉन्स्पिरेसी थ्योरी ये भी कहती है that he was poisoned. He was given poison and when he consumed it he died. अब ये थ्योरी इतनी क्रेडिबल क्यों है? क्योंकि इनका कभी भी पोस्टमार्टम नहीं कराया गया. This is a strange fact that the Prime Minister of India died in a foreign land and yet no postmortem was conducted on his body. अगर पोस्टमार्टम कंडक्ट किया जाता तो ये प्रॉपरली एस्टैब्लिश हो सकता था कि उनकी मौत का एक्चुअल कारण क्या था. क्या वो पॉइजनिंग से मरे थे या क्या वो कार्डियक अरेस्ट से मरे थे. बट द पोस्टमार्टम वाज नेवर कंडक्टेड एंड हेंस दिस कंस्पिरेसी थ्योरी इज स्टिल परसिस्टिंग. In fact, there was a movie on this which was a really intriguing investigation of this entire thing, which was Tashkent Files by the same director who released Kashmir Files a few months back. So Tashkent Files was a movie on this particular episode. So we celebrate his birth anniversary on the 2nd of October every year. Next, National Wildlife Week we celebrated from 2nd of October till the 8th of October. And the main objective of this campaign is to make people aware about the importance of wildlife, of course. So Indian Board of Wildlife, started Wildlife Week in 1952 to increase awareness. And this day was first observed in 1955, but in 1957 it was renamed Wildlife Week. So 1955 we started celebrating it as a single day, but just 2 years after that we started it celebrating an entire week as the World Wildlife Week. And the Indian Board of Wildlife falls under the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change, the overall jurisdiction of Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change. Next is Operation Garuda. So Operation Garuda is an anti-drug and psychotropic substance operation. इंडिया में जितनी भी narcotic drugs और psychotropic substances की smuggling होती है उसे रोकने के लिए, although it's a operation of international level, and that is why we have included Interpol as well. The international police is also a part of it. But for the purpose of implementing this program in India, we have CBI, or Central Bureau of Investigation. So the CBI is there, and it has launched this Operation Garuda. All the state polices as well as the Narcotics Control Bureau, NCB, is also included in it. The purpose is to exchange information, to analyze, and the development of operational information so that drug trafficking can be stopped. And already under this program, thousands of arrests have been made, thousands of kilograms of narcotic drugs have been seized. In fact, today I was reading this news in the newspaper that off the coast of Gujarat, some 350 crore worth of heroin has been seized from a boat which was coming from Pakistan. So apparently it is not only the land border, which is the favorite of drug traffickers from, drug smugglers from Pakistan to India, it is also coming from the sea route. And whenever such a kind of operation has to be done and it has to be made a success, inter-agency coordination is very important. For example, in this particular case, the coordination between the Gujarat police, the Coast Guard and the Indian Navy, all of that had to be spot on. Only then this kind of operation can be made successful. And that is why so many agencies are involved. CBI, Interpol, NCB, the police, states and UT police, all these have to work in tandem to make this a success. The Nobel Prizes 2022. So these are considered to be the most prestigious prizes of the world, and they are given in 6 different fields. They are given in the fields of physics, chemistry, medicine, peace, literature, and economics. Initially, when it was started, it was given only in these 5 fields. Economics was not then considered to be a field of importance. It started in like 1900s. So 1900 and around 1901 or 2, this award was instituted, and it was instituted by Alfred Nobel. And there's a very interesting story behind it. Alfred Nobel was an inventor. He was trying to invent something else when he ended up inventing dynamite. So he thought that this dynamite would be used for some constructive purposes, but as it turned out, it was used more for destructive purposes in wars, in making bombs and ammunition, etc. So later on, he started feeling guilty about it, that I have invented something that is destructing the human lives, that is causing destruction in the human lives. So that is when he instituted these awards, which will be given to the people who do something constructive to take the human lives forward, or to simplify or to ease the human lives, to save human lives basically, because dynamite was killing human beings. So he, and all the money that he had earned, he had a fortune actually, so he started this particular prize for these 5 fields. Economics was added in the 1960s, and these prizes are given to the people who have done breakthroughs or inventions in their fields which are quite significant for the human beings. These can be given to maximum of 3 people or organizations. So 3 individuals or organizations or both can be awarded this prize in 1 year. No more than 3 can be awarded one. Secondly, the selection committee of Nobel Prizes are in Sweden and Norway. So the Peace Prize is given by the Norway Selection Committee. It is in Oslo, and all other prizes are given in Sweden, Stockholm. That is where the selection committees are. And if we talk about this year's Nobel Prizes, the Physics Prize has gone to Ellen Aspect, John F. Clauser, and Anton Zillinger for experiments with entangled photons, establishing the violation of Bell inequalities, and pioneering quantum information science. Any breakthrough in any particular subject, basically, we do not need to go that much deep into it. So this was the Physics Prize. Then if we talk about the prize for medicine or physiology, it has gone to Svante Pääbo for his discoveries concerning the genomes of extinct hominins and human evolution. Basically, human beings are evolved from apes. There were Neanderthals, then there were hominins, So he took the sediments or took the remains from the bones of those Neanderthals and hominins and created a genome sequence of those materials, and that is how he was able to establish a connection between those and the present day human beings. And that is how he was able to show that how this evolution happened and how this research is able to increase the immunity of human beings. Like in various pharmaceutical processes, there are certain things that he has defined which are responsible for increasing the efficacy of the drugs, vaccines, medicines that we administer on human beings. That is the level of importance that his research carries. So for genome sequencing of those Neanderthals and hominins, he has been awarded the Nobel Prize in Medicine. Then there she is, Annie Ernaux. So Annie Ernaux has won the Nobel Prize in Literature. And this award is not given for a single book. It is given for all the writings of a particular person. And she has been writing against the oppressive regimes. So she has been given, and this is a beautiful line here, and I quote, "For the courage and clinical acuity with which she uncovers the roots, estrangements, and collective restraints of personal memory." So she has been awarded. She has a fearless style of writing, and she has criticized various authoritarian regimes, and that is why she has been given this award. Then in chemistry, Caroline Bertozzi, Morton Melville, and K. Barry Sharpless have got this award for the development of click chemistry and bioorthogonal chemistry, new fields in chemistry which these people have invented. Right, so Nobel Prizes, 2 more, which we will discuss in the next week, by the time they will be announced: Peace and Economic Sciences. Then the Swachh Sarvekshan Awards. So Swachh Bharat Mission, its first phase was launched in 2014, and it wanted to make India an open defecation-free country by 2019. Although more than 10 crore toilets were constructed in those 5 years, but their usage still remains an issue because of the lack of awareness among the people, especially the rural masses. Still, every year we conduct a Swachh Sarvekshan, which tells us the situation of the number of toilets which have been constructed, how many of them are being used regularly, what is the status of solid and liquid waste disposal in a particular city, and what is the level of sewage treatment plants and this disposal of waste in a particular city or state. Based on that criteria, we have Swachh Sarvekshan that is carried out every year. And for the last 6 years, Indore in Madhya Pradesh has been bagging the title of India's cleanest city. So this is the 6th time in a row that the city has got the cleanest city award, followed by Surat. Surat is the 2nd cleanest city, and the cleanest state is Madhya Pradesh. So the same state, the same city, they have bagged the best or the cleanest states and city awards. Then Tripura has bagged the award among the states having fewer than 100 urban local bodies. So that means among the smaller states, it is the Tripura that has bagged the award. In the category of cities having a population of less than 1 lakh, the Panchgani city of Maharashtra has bagged the first award. Among the cleanest Ganga towns, Haridwar is number 1, Varanasi is number 2, and Rishikesh is at number 3. So these are the cities and the states that have won the top awards in the Swachh Sarvekshan category. And this Swachh Bharat Mission or Swachh Sarvekshan award, these are carried out under the Ministry of Drinking Water and Sanitation. That is the nodal ministry for this scheme. So the javelin thrower who has been banned is this gentleman, Shivpal Singh. Luckily or thankfully, it is not Neeraj Chopra. So but still I think it's a very depressing news that such a promising player of India has been entangled in doping. So the agency that is responsible for doing this is National Anti-Doping Agency. It takes samples from the blood of athletes a few hours before the major competitions, and if there is any banned substance that is found, that is steroid or performance enhancing drug, then they can be banned for a lifetime as well. So he has been tested positive for this particular drug, methandienone, and it is a performance enhancing asteroid, and that is why he has been banned for 3 years. Till October 2025, he cannot take part in any domestic or international tournament, which is sad because just look at his previous record. So he was a silver medalist at 2019 Asian Championships, and he also won the 2019 World Military Games. These are quite significant achievements for a sports person. And just look at his throw, 86 meters. This is world class throw. Anything above 85 meters is world class. For reference, the throw that Neeraj Chopra had when he won the gold medal in Olympics was somewhere around 88 meters. So just look at the level of competence that this player had. So it is sad that he will not be able to play for the next 3 years, especially because for athletes, especially athletics I'm talking about, the prime of youth is the time when maximum performance can be taken out. So 3 years at this point of time in his life may take away most of the opportunities that present themselves to him. Like the 2024 Paris Olympics, he will not be able to play. The next Winter Olympics, the next Asian Games, the next Commonwealth Games perhaps, he will be losing. And of course the World Athletics Championships, he will not be competing in any of those because of this ban. So it's a sad state of affairs, but this is something that has to be done because it is rules based. Okay, let us change the mood with the positive news. So this here is a made in India helicopter. Now how does that sound? Maybe we wouldn't have thought a few years back that we will be building an assault helicopter totally indigenously within India under the Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan as well as under the Make in India program. So this LCH or light combat helicopter has been constructed by or has been built by Hindustan Aeronautics Limited, the HAL, based in Bengaluru, and it was inducted in the IAF or Indian Air Force Station in Jodhpur by Defense Minister Rajnath Singh. This LCH or light combat helicopter has a peculiar feature which is only one of a kind in the world. What is that? It can land and take off at 5,000 meters while carrying a sizable load of ammunition and fuel, which no other light combat helicopter is able to do. And we have a very particular significance of this capability, because we have bases which are at that height, whether you talk about the eastern Ladakh or Arunachal border, or the base camp of Himalaya, of the Siachen also. So we need this kind of a helicopter which is combat ready, which is light, which can carry sizable load of ammunition, and which can take off and land at such high altitudes, because we have that kind of geography when we need these things. So, and most of all, it is built totally in India. So that is something which is really nice. And a few months back, in fact, we had seen the news where we have also built our own aircraft carrier. So that shows the level of indigenization we are having in our defense. Rohit Sharma has become the first Indian cricketer to play 400 T20 international matches. 400 T20 international matches. Because it's a new format of the game, and his feat is followed by Dinesh Karthik. He has played 368. MS Dhoni has played 361. And Virat Kohli 354. So 400, and he is right now the Indian captain of Team India. So very simple news it was. Then similarly, the FIBA Women's Basketball World Cup. Women's Basketball World Cup. In India, basketball is not a very prominent sport. We do not, we do not practice it at the world level. But United States has defeated China to win this particular title of Women's Basketball World Cup, and it took place in Sydney. Right, so this is 11th title of United States of America. 11th time they have won, which shows the popularity of basketball in USA, especially amongst the women. And also with this, the American football team, the American basketball team has sealed a spot at the Paris 2024 Olympic Games. This was a sort of a qualifier for the same as well. Yes, so this is what I was talking about. This is the Fridtjof Nansen Refugee Award, or UNHCR's Nansen Refugee Award. First of all, let's take a look at who Fridtjof Nansen was. So this man right here was Fridtjof Nansen. He was the winner of 1922 Nobel Peace Prize because he played a decisive role in saving the lives of millions of refugees of the Romanov, Ottoman and Austro-Hungarian empires in the late 1910s and early 1920s. And for that he was given the 1922 Nobel Peace Prize. So this is like the biggest step someone has taken to protect millions of refugees, and that is why United Nations High Commission for Refugees in 1954 established an award in his name itself, which we call the Nansen Refugee Award. It is given to an individual or group or an organization that has gone above and beyond the call of duty to protect refugees, internally displaced or stateless people. And this year, this prize has gone to 5 people. So these are the 5 people who have been awarded the Nansen Refugee Prize 2022. So this name, this face, I think is highly recognizable. She's Angela Merkel. She was the Chancellor of Germany for around 15 years till last year. So Chancellor means she was the head of state of Germany, and she was awarded this award for ensuring the protection of hundreds of thousands of desperate people at the height of Syrian crisis. Basically, when the Syrian civil war was going on from 2011 till 2018-19, in fact till now the situation is not good there, she helped thousands of people for getting asylum, political asylum or refugee asylum in her own country, Germany. And she also urged a lot of other European countries to give asylum to those who fled the Syrian conflict. For that she has been given the award. Other than that, there are 4 other people who have been given this award. For Africa, Ahmadou Ag al-Buhari has been given this award because he runs the Beira Fire Brigade firefighting group in Mauritania in Africa. Then Vicenta Gonzalez. She's a women rights advocate and activist whose cacao cooperative in Costa Rica empowers local and asylum seeking women. So there are so many people doing a lot of good work in the world that goes unnoticed. It is only when we hear about such awards that those deeds come out in the open. And it's really heartening to see that. So see, a fire brigade group voluntarily working to douse the fires. A women's rights advocate who is helping thousands of local and asylum seeking women to seek asylum. Then there is Mekeswe Myanmar, which is a humanitarian organization that helps internally displaced persons. In Myanmar already the situation is quite dire because of the military rule. Then there is Dr. Nagam Hassan from Middle East and North America. She is a gynecologist from Iraq who helps fellow Yazidi women who were forced into slavery by ISIS to recover from their trauma. Now, ISIS militants, the Islamic State militants, they capture and abduct thousands of women, rape them, sexually assault them, and keep them as slaves. So she is a gynecologist who is helping those Yazidi women for recovering from those traumas physically as well as mentally. So for these deeds, these people have been chosen as a regional winners of the Nansen Refugee Award. All these people are in some capacity or the other helping refugees, internally displaced people and stateless people to lead better lives and to come out of the situation of penury that they are in. So unsung heroes, I would say, but some recognition they get due to this kind of awards. Now we have Mr. Pankaj Tripathi. So for those of you who have watched him in any movie like Newton or in a web series like Mirzapur or maybe in some television advertisement, Mr. Pankaj Tripathi is the quintessential Indian face. People are able to connect with him because he speaks Hindi, comes from a rural area. And because of this quality, Election Commission of India has appointed him as the national icon so that he spreads awareness among the people for voting. So in the next few days, in the next few weeks or months, you will see advertisements in newspapers, in television, on social media, where you will see him advocating that everyone should exercise their right to vote. With this campaign, the Election Commission of India is seeking to increase the voter turnout in elections. So he has, interestingly, his most acclaimed role involved electoral process in 2007 film Newton, for which he won the national award. So basically in that movie Newton, he has played the role of a CRPF Jawan, a CRPF officer who is responsible for conducting elections for voting in a Naxal affected area. So he won a national award for that movie, and now also he is going to play that role, for promoting voter awareness in real life as well. That is a very interesting coincidence. Finally, we have the Shastra Ramanujan Prize. So Ramanujan was one of the world's most acclaimed mathematicians. Ramanujan. So of course this award is in the field of mathematics. Shastra means Shanmugha Arts, Science, Technology, Research Academy. This is the full form of Shastra. Shanmugha Arts, Science, Technology, Research Academy. Shastra 2005 award. It will be awarded to Yunkin Tang. Yunkin Tang is the assistant professor at the University of California, USA. So it is in the field of mathematics, carries a prize of $10,000 and it is presented annually to individuals aged 32 and below. So it's the age threshold is quite low, so that young people are encouraged to do something in the field of mathematics, and she has been awarded this, and she's an assistant professor. Her works display a remarkable combination of sophisticated techniques in which the arithmetic and geometry of modular curves and Shimura varieties play a central role. Because of this particular discovery or sort of, you can say, finding, she has been given the Shastra Ramanujan Prize for 2022. Right? Don't worry if you don't like maths. You are like me only. I also do not like maths. But to remember this award, I think, is not a big deal. Shastra Ramanujan Prize given to Yunkin Tang. All right, so that was it for this week's current affairs. I hope you liked it. They are highly relevant for any examination perspective, because current affairs has come to play a very decisive role in all the exams across the board. I am yet to see an exam where the static general knowledge is carrying, overwhelming weightage. It is a very rare thing to see nowadays, and it is in a way good also, because current affairs is something that is happening around us in the moment, and if you are aware about what is happening around you in the moment, that makes you more aware rather than cramming some textbooks or something like that. So that is all for this week's current affairs. This is me, Manish Mittal, signing off. Thank you.